Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Few Beers and a Shot. Today, we're going to be discussing something I like very much, or I did like very much at the time.
Something we both really liked at once.
Yes, before it was wrecked.
Yes.
With you always, this is Juan.
And I'm Kyle.
And today we're going to be discussing the MCU Phase 1.
Yes.
Part of the Infinity Saga miniseries. So this will be a 3-part miniseries. 4 if you count the last episode, which we'll discuss everything.
Everything that's wrong with the MCU?
Yes, everything wrong with the MCU up to that point.
But the one thing I could say about Phase 1 is that it had some of the coolest parts of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the very first part of the Cinematic Universe, which was Iron Man back in 2008.
2008.
Yeah, I know.
15 years ago.
Dude, don't even get me started.
Yeah, it was definitely a kickoff, a great kickoff, I would say. And that's when the post-credit scenes started.
Yes.
But
Well,
I wouldn't want to say they started, like, they didn't invent them, because Ferris Bueller.
Yep.
But they made them a thing, like a mainstream
Yes,
thing.
it was a way that people had to stay in the theater longer
Yes.
to see what was coming next.
You
But
guys stay for the credits.
Before we get into that,
Yes.
we are going to talk about the beer that we are going to be consuming today, which is Hank Mardukas by Solemn Oath.
Mm-hmm.
Now, two funny things. Well, not two funny things, but 2 facts about this. One, Hank Mardukas is an homage to I Love You Man.
Yes.
Which is one of my favorite movies.
Good
and
movie.
Solemn Oath is a brewery not too far from us down in Naperville who brew some really good beer and also have a really good seltzer line called City Water, which is one of my favorites. And Solemn Oath is a really cool place to go check out too.
Yes. So this is a pale ale, Hank Mardukas, and it is
Oh, look, it even
5%
has Sidney
powder.
Fife Investments, the fucking
Yes.
card that he gives them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Dude,
This is actually a really cool can.
yeah. It's got a bunch of things from the movie.
Oh, Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah.
Has Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah.
Oh, his moped.
Yep. The hard hat or the helmet.
Yes.
Heart You Man.
The guitar.
Yes. The
And-
double bass.
Yes.
It's a bass.
The double bass.
Yes. The bass.
Slap at the bass.
Wow.
They sound more like Borat.
What? I'm Jamaican, man.
Yeah. Slap at the bass.
That's definitely a good movie. That's my jerk station. What?
Yes. Oh, do you bring girls here? No, Peter. Why would I bring girls here to my jerk off station?
Yes.
All right, I never heard of this one, so this is a new one by them.
Okay, let's pop these bad boys open. See what they.
It is 5% alcohol by volume, and this is 1 pint.
Yes.
Really cool can. I do like this can a lot.
Ooh.
All right.
Ooh.
Ooh.
The foams.
Oh. Has a nice, actually not too overpowering smell.
It's a little bit hoppy.
I like it. No, but it's not like crazy though. Smell like really.
No, I know.
I like it.
I'd smell the hops. Though. It's
Cheers.
good. Cheers.
All right, let's see how this one goes. Now I understand why Hank Mardukas was his best man at his wedding.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Man, actually, wow. Yeah, that's actually really good.
Yeah, it is.
Way better than I thought it was going to be. I was kind of worried at the can at first. I'm like, dude, this is going to be one of those, like, kick you in the nuts fucking hoppy ones, but
No, it's not overwhelming.
this is probably the
It's very well
mild of the
balanced.
mild, dude.
It's very well balanced.
Yes. I could probably drink probably about 4 or 5 of these and be okay before I want to drink something else.
Sydney 5. Did you just fart?
Hey, Sydney, you got to pick up your dog shit on the sidewalk. No, man, it's like a natural fertilizer. That's cement.
Yeah. I Love You Man's a good movie.
Oh, dude, I love that movie. Like when that one in Forgetting Sarah Marshall came out,
Yeah.
those were like back-to-back bangers.
Yep.
But anyway,
Yes.
back to our actual topic at hand,
Yes.
which is Phase 1 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to jump right into it and talk about probably... Dude, I have to say, this is probably my favorite Marvel movie was Iron Man.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a good one. I don't want to jump ahead.
When I mean like favorite, but like it's like the one that
from Phase 1,
what drew you in.
Definitely.
Yeah, what drew you into the universe. Like,
yeah.
The perfect casting of Robert Downey Jr.
Yes.
And Jon Favreau wrote a fucking phenomenal movie.
Yeah.
You know, and was in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm just like, that movie from top to bottom was probably one of the best.
The live adaptation, yes.
Yes, I'll have to say that's probably one of the best Marvel movies made.
Yeah.
Like the other ones, like the further you get, they're really good. But I'm talking about for that being the one
the starter
that kicked you off.
Yeah.
There's no better way to kick you off, especially looking at the list of what is considered Phase 1.
Yeah.
I don't think you could... Any of the other ones would have been good movies on their own, but they wouldn't have done what Iron Man did.
No.
That's my opinion on that.
No, I agree. I think it was a great, good movie. I like, okay, so right now we're looking at the list in chronological order, how you would watch them, which I think is kind of fucked up because The Incredible Hulk is supposed to be before Iron Man 2, but, you know, internet. So, but I agree, Iron Man was like a great hook. It was great. It had everything. It had action, it had comedy, you had like a real situation going on. You had a real down-to-earth bad guy who was, you know, like, hey, he's not a cosmic threat. It was just, it was like a, you know, an arms dealer. And the
one thing I liked about it, which I kind of feel like was, once that movie came out, it paved the way for the realism, quote unquote,
yes,
of being a superhero.
Well, being the Iron Man movie made it seem like, holy shit, somebody could really do this. Yes. And it was kind of like what happened with the Nolan trilogy, which made Batman more of a grounded character versus, like, I love Michael Keaton, I love Batman with Ben Affleck,
but the Nolan ones made it seem real.
Yeah, they made it seem like, holy shit, there's actual like terrorists, whether it be the Joker, Ra's al Ghul, whatever. And you got this dude who's a billionaire who's like, I'm gonna fuck these dudes up because I got money and I could dress up like a bat. Yep. And they like explain all his gadgets.
And then this guy is an owner of an arms manufacturing facility. He's like, hey, build me a suit with all my fucking missiles.
The cool thing is he built it himself.
But I'm talking about like I'm gonna build a suit that has all of my gadgets in it.
Yep. And
I'll just go take care of it myself.
The cool thing is like, I think they go over in the movie, was with the arc reactor, right? Which he had he had to build it so he wouldn't be lugging around a car battery with him to keep the magnets away from his heart, or the shrapnel. Yeah, away from his heart. So he built an arc reactor based off of an original one he had, which was fucking huge. If you've seen the movie, you saw that it was like the size of a building. And he miniaturized it. So what makes you think he can't do that with his weapons?
Exactly.
So he put like little missiles in his
especially
shoulders,
that one little missile
with the tank
that blows up the tank. He's like, pew.
Yep.
But yeah, dude, that was
the best thing. I think I got to say the best thing about that movie was he got that non-sanctioned payback. He's like, oh, these dudes kidnapped me. They fucked me up. They threw me in a cave. I got out. I perfected my shit. I'm gonna come back and fuck him up, and he did just that.
Well, even that first Iron Man,
the Mark 1. That's the Iron Man.
But yeah, dude, that movie
sounds like a fucking robot with an extra chromosome.
And I mean, it is the perfect casting.
Oh yeah,
you know, and that resurrected him.
Oh yeah, that revived his career. The thing I don't like, I like Don Cheadle, but
Terrence Howard
was a good roadie.
Yeah, he was.
I liked him a lot.
Yeah.
The thing with it was a money issue. It all came down to the money.
Oh yeah.
We both know that. And they know that too. Even though there's apologies and they're good
But I feel like the way that Don Cheadle played after, like, took on, he did a pretty good job of taking on the role.
Well, it's like
afterwards.
Mark Ruffalo taking over Norton. He did an awesome job too.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I think in that regard, because Norton and Mark Ruffalo worked together before, he recommended him. He's like, take Mark Ruffalo. Because we're not even going to talk about the disaster that was Eric Bana's movie. Even though Eric Bana's a good actor.
Yeah, I like Eric Bana in other things, not in
Dude,
the Hulk.
Dude, just off the record, off topic, when he was Hector in Troy,
that was
a bad. Yep. Like I was like,
when he was Hector, that was good, and I liked. Was it Munich?
Mm-hmm.
Munich was another good one that he was in.
Yeah,
that I thought he did a really good job.
I think he just got a shitty. He got into it at a bad time. Let's just put it that way.
Well, yeah. And they tried so many different times with the Hulk.
Yeah.
You know, they had the show, then they had... It's just like, they never really got it right.
Yeah.
You know, and
hold on. The show...
But I'm talking about, like...
The show,
but I'm talking about, like... But as far as, like, to get into where it's at now.
Yeah.
Like, it took a long time to mold it into what it is.
Because you had the Captain America show, you had the Thor show, and then they brought Thor and Hulk together at one point in the show.
So it was like the stuff during the 70s and 80s and stuff was weird.
They had the Japanese Spider-Man.
Yeah, you know, like, but just like to get to where it was at now, even while Ed Norton and then to Mark Ruffalo, like it kind of the way it just kind of peaked. It just the scale went to like, okay, this is really good now.
The thing I didn't like was when Norton left, because Norton was like the perfect Banner. He was scrawny. He had that, like, I just did Fight Club, I'm all scrawny, and he had that, like, he had the look, the Banner look, like that. I'm a scientist, I'm a nerd guy, but I can kind of like I'm shady, you know.
Yeah.
With all the shit he was doing in the Incredible Hulk, he had the perfect look up until the point where Liv Tyler's like, I gotta cut your hair, and then he comes out looking like he's fucking What was his paper in his role in American History X? Vineyard.
Oh yeah.
He came out looking like Vineyard. It's like that's not fucking Banner. That's Vineyard. But like before that, he did a really good job at, like, you know, he had the hat. He looked like geeky. He looked nerdy. Yeah. He looked like he was running away from the law. And afterwards, he's like, I'm gonna buy this used truck because I look like Edward Vineyard.
So I'm just looking at some info here, some notes. Mm-hmm. So back in 2006, when Marvel hired Jon Favreau to direct Iron Man,
the miracle worker of Disney.
Yes, dude, the shit that he's done.
He revived
with Marvel and Star Wars.
Yes,
it's insane. Like that's I feel like we need to do a whole just
Jon
episode
Favreau
on Jon Favreau.
Yes,
because he's an amazing. Like just his shit is amazing.
He knows his craft. He's good.
So Iron Man was actually, there was two different like scripts, and he molded it into one. Mm-hmm. And then when Robert Downey Jr. like came into audition, he already had the goatee and worked out because he's like, look, I want you guys to see that I'm Tony Stark.
Yeah,
and he convinced them right away that he was the dude for the part.
After the whole thing was over, you see Robert Downey Jr. and you're like, that's fucking Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, and I feel like because he had that and
Sherlock Holmes.
No, but right away it was didn't Tropic Thunder come out right? It was all.
Oh, he did Tropic Thunder right after.
Yeah,
he did that in the same year actually.
Yeah,
they came out in the same year.
And I feel like that completely revitalized him.
Yeah.
And just.
What do you mean, you people?
But yeah, dude, but just going back into that movie, like, every little piece of it, like. Even in the beginning, when he's you know driving around with the Air Force, taking the selfies and then talking about freedom and stuff, and then
don't throw up gang signs.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Throw them up.
Peace. I love peace.
Yeah,
I'd be out of a job with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then and then to just go through the whole thing when he's captured, and then he gets back. He's like, all I want is an American cheeseburger, and he's eating fucking Burger King, sitting there talking.
You got one of those for me? Nope. And then he pulls out another one. Yeah, no, I think Iron Man. That's like the great kickoff.
Oh yeah, and I love the part when he's building the suit.
Yes, and I like when he builds the legs first, and he's starting to where he's like, yeah, I can fly.
Yep.
But that first take where he's like, "We're gonna take it 5%," he fucking flies into the wall, and then he has the dummy, which is his little machine, as the fire extinguisher, like
after the fact. He's like, "Oh, thanks." Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, "You douse me again? I'm gonna donate you to a community college." Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That was such a good one.
Oh, and dude, like even just like the mansion with the cars.
Yep.
And all the stuff he had there is pretty awesome.
And I love when the one chick, the one reporter that he like hooked up with,
Christine Everhart or
comes
whatever,
back with it with all that bullshit like, "Hey, your weapons are being used for this, that,
how
and the
about
other."
the Merchant of Death?
And he's just like, "I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to take care of this," and fucking flies over there, and just takes care of business. And that part where like everything's blowing up and he's walking by, and it goes a dun 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 dun. Like that was the coolest part.
That and when he's flying back, and Rhodey calls him.
Yeah.
Hey, like, you got any tech in that area? Nah, man, I'm just driving with the top down. Why do you sound out of breath? Oh, because I was jogging. I thought you were driving.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, I drove to the canyon and now I'm jogging. You just cost me an airplane. Yeah, can't you say it's a training accident or some BS like that?
Yeah, dude, that was. Oh.
Yeah, that was such a good movie.
Dude, I can watch that one over and over and over again.
Yep. I tried watching those with Talia, and I was like, we're going to do the same... Because we tried to get through Star Wars, and we saw, like, the first 4 episodes before I was like, we were watching them at night, so I was like, I fell asleep. I'm like, I've seen these a million times. I'm just like, I would doze off. But then we tried to do the Infinity Saga, and I was like, she couldn't get past, like, the Incredible Hulk. She was like, I was like, it's okay, it's not your thing.
Yeah,
I'm like, you could go watch real world life Cancun.
See, I don't know,
whatever.
Like I told you, dude. Like I don't remember the Incredible Hulk movie at all. I don't remember it at all.
I think it was okay. So we're Iron Man 1. I don't want to say it's the perfect movie, but it was damn near, because that was like the great kickoff. Even the post credit scene.
Well, dude, that was the movie that Marvel needed. To be where it's at now.
That was even before Kevin Feige took over.
Yeah,
Marvel.
but I'm talking about. But I'm like that was what they needed to catapult.
Yes.
Everything for them to be like, oh shit, dude, we got something here.
Well, here's the thing.
And they like, and like, they look at it like, dude, DC can't fucking touch us.
Yeah. Because
of this, that movie alone, I feel like just made DC look like fucking children.
Yes.
You know.
I'll tell you
on live action.
Yes, on live action. I was about to say that on live action.
Live action movies,
animated movies, DC kills. Dude.
Yes, but when it came to live action movies, Iron Man, except for the Nolan trilogy, I've taken the Nolan trilogy out of this whole equation because it's more like I'm just taking it out when I compare.
They're good. I still think it's a little.
No, but I'm talking about as far as like. You can watch the Nolan trilogy and appreciate that more than the other ones. Yeah. In the DC universe. To where Iron Man makes everything else in that universe like... True. You know.
Well, yeah, because he did his trilogy and he's like, I'm doing this, and that's it. Mm-hmm. But...
Just think if he would have went further.
Oh, dude, if they brought him into the multiverse with the Flash movie... I think a lot of people would have lost their shit, even though it was a horror movie.
Well, even though
Ezra Miller
and the way that they ended his trilogy with fucking Robin,
I didn't like that.
No, but I'm talking about the way that they ended. It's like fuck, you could have brought him in,
yeah,
you know, and then you could have started something.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I mean, we're getting a little bit off Marvel and onto DC. I'll tell you one thing. Batman would never retire.
No,
Bruce Wayne would never retire. That's the one thing that I was like.
That's why Tony Stark died.
Yeah, he had to. Yeah. Because it's like Harvey Dent said, you live long enough to become you die a hero, or you live long enough to become the villain.
Yep. And
Tony Stark was both.
Yeah. So I'll let you talk about the Incredible Hulk because I don't remember that one at all.
So chronologically, it doesn't show it on the internet, but
the one that I have shows the Hulk is number 2.
Okay, so the Incredible Hulk was the Edward Norton movie. Mm-hmm. It starts out with him in Brazil, so they don't show the accident. They do a recap in the intro, but it's just like shots. while they're rolling like the beginning credits. He's in Brazil. He's in contact with the guy who later we find out is the guy who will become the Thinker. And they get him riled up. He fucks shit up in Brazil. They got the dude Tim Roth, he's like an elite. I think he's British, because they bring in like the best of the best to hunt this dude down. So Thunderbolt Ross is not joking around. He wants that super soldier Hulk serum. So, the whole Brazil incident happens. He takes off. He travels through South America all the way up to, I think it's MIT where they're at with Betty Ross, which is Liv Tyler. And they actually, you see Martin Starr in there, which he later on shows up in other movies. And they're like, no, yeah. Like, they confirmed it's the same character. At first, everybody's like, oh, that's going to be Amadeus Cho. But I'm like, he's not even, like, Asian.
Yeah.
But then they're like, no. He's just like a regular character. Anyway, like a secondary character. So he goes to MIT. He gets with Liv Tyler, who's Betty Ross, to get some data. And Thunderbolt Ross shows up again, screws shit up. And at this point, they had injected Tim Roth's character with like a pseudo super soldier serum. And he becomes all like
Abomination, right?
Yeah, but no, like at that point he just becomes like a junkie for it. He's like,
okay.
I want more of that stuff. He's like, I want that power. Eventually, they get away. Liv Tyler helps him out. He gets all the way to New York, where he meets the guy who's going to be the Thinker. I can't remember his name for some reason. But, yeah. So they extract the Hulk out of him, or the radiation gamma stuff. And they're like, oh, well, we're still going to arrest you because all these crimes. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, I could go to court and say, that wasn't me. Literally, it was the big green guy.
Yep.
And then, Tim Roth gets injected with, like, whatever they took out of the Hulk. They put it in him and mixed with whatever he's got. He turns into the Abomination. He screws up Harlem. He does his disaster. And everyone's like, oh, I guess I'm going skydiving without a parachute. See if that triggers the Hulk. And it does. And then they had the whole Harlem battle. Which the Abomination looks awesome in that.
Yeah.
Not like they did in the She-Hulk show.
Dude, I feel like I need to check out that movie again because
it's a good movie.
I don't remember it at all.
I actually like that movie. It's a good movie. But then again, I do like the more obscure Marvel movies. Like I actually enjoy Thor: The Dark World, which is
I like that one too.
Everybody's like, that's the worst Thor movie, and I'm like, have you seen Love and Thunder?
No, Love and Thunder is the worst one. We'll get there.
Yes, we'll get there. I'm just saying, I like those movies.
Yeah.
And okay, so that's the Hulk movie. Did I refresh your memory a little bit?
A little bit, and that will lead us into Iron Man 2.
Yes.
But
before we jump to that, I just want to go back and say Norton, really good Banner. Yeah. I liked him as Banner. And I like how they portray, like the way they animated the Hulk. I know the Hulk in the Avengers looks exactly like Mark Ruffalo,
just Hulkified.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the way, like, this looked like an actual transformation. And he looked like, and he looked ripped.
Yeah.
The dude was like,
oh, I know.
Because you see the Hulk from the Avengers, and he's big and he's bulky, but he's not ripped. He's just big and, like, muscular. The Hulk from those movies is, like, jagged. Like, you could see, all the rip in his pecs and his thighs. You see the veins.
Yeah.
And when he screams, he's got that, like, howling scream. Even the hair is all, like, it looked like Norton. Well, I mean, it looked like Norton, but not Norton.
Yeah.
Like you expect to see something different, not just the same face on a different Gumby character. I'm not saying Mark Ruffalo did a bad job or anything. I liked him too, but
no,
I'm saying I like that version of the Hulk. For me, that was a better version of the Hulk.
Yeah.
He was more like Rage Monster. Anyway, and that had a post-credit scene
with Robert Downey Jr.
and Thunderbolt Ross.
Yes.
Which was like, oh shit, they're weaving it together now. That was the oh shit moment.
Yep.
With what's his name, Robert Downey Jr. wearing like high heels for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he's wearing like some tall platforms and that. Like, watch that scene, the post-credit scene. You could tell he's like, they're like huge. It looks like 70s bell-bottom type shoes.
And that leads us into Iron Man 2.
Which also gets a bad rep. I liked it.
I liked it. I mean, it was all right. I'm trying to think. Which one was it this one or Iron Man 3 that I'm trying to think of? Where the kid helps him rebuild the suit.
That's 3.
That's 3? Okay,
Yeah.
that's the one that I was thinking of. Okay. But no, this one is the Ivan Vanko.
It's good to be back.
Is like, this is my technology. I did
my
this.
father technology.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't even say that. He's like, your dad was a murderer too.
Yeah.
He's like, you want to talk shit about my dad? Your dad was a murderer too.
And it was pretty good because then it started diving into the dark side of Tony Stark and his demons and stuff, and it really went into because it wasn't even like in the comics and stuff how he became.
Well, he's like an alcoholic.
He's like a raging alcoholic, and like his whole world is getting torn upside down to the point where doesn't he quit being Iron Man for a minute? Or he says like I'm done, and that's why War Machine picks up.
Well,
right?
actually, Rhodey becomes Iron Man.
Yeah,
and then Tony Stark comes back, and then Tony's like, okay, we can't both be Iron Man, so you become War Machine. Yeah.
But yeah. Dude. I mean, this one was pretty good.
I like the part in the movie where Sam Jackson's like, you're telling me little brother came in and kicked your ass and you just let him and he just took off with your suit? You didn't let him? He took it?
Yep.
He's like, what can I say?
Yep.
Or he's like, I don't want to get off on the wrong foot. Which eye do I look at? Do I look at the patch or do I look at the eye? He's always got those funny quips, dude, which are like, he's an asshole, but it's funny.
Dude, that's why he's one of the best characters, dude.
I told you I don't want to join your superhero. Was it your superhero boy band?
Yeah. And it's like at the end. Was it the end of? It was the end of the first Iron Man, right? When the agent, what's his nuts, explains Shield.
No, at the end of the first one, it's Nick Fury, and he tells him about the Avengers initiative.
Oh no, it's when they got back. It's when he gets back from being in captivity, and he's like, "Oh, I'm an agent from the."
Statistics.
He goes, man,
Statistic Homeland.
He's
blah,
like,
blah,
you
blah.
really need to shorten that up.
You guys need an acronym.
And
for
then
that.
isn't the next one where he goes, yeah, I'm an agent of Shield?
No, he says it at the end where they're with Gwyneth Paltrow when they're doing the press conferences where he says, "I'm Iron Man," and that's
the second one, right?
No, that's at the end of the first one.
That's at the end of the first one.
Yeah, where she's like, I guess we'll be hearing from the strategic. He's like, just call us Shield.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the first one.
Okay. Yeah, I remember when and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. That was pretty funny.
So then would the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fall into Phase 1, the series?
Depends on the season, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
no. My mistake, no.
No?
No. Because I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. started in Phase 2.
Okay.
Because it was with the whole Phil Coulson being brought back. Which was the Haiti Project or whatever. I didn't watch all the seasons. I saw like the first.
I watched a few of them, and they're all right.
They're okay, but it was all about what's her face, Chloe Bennett or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is Quake. Her character's Quake, and it just had too much to do with the Inhumans, which I don't really follow because they're really not interesting characters. No. The only badass they got is Bad Bolt and Lockjaw. Black Bolt.
Yeah.
What did I say?
You said Back Bolt.
Black Bolt. Black Bolt and Lockjaw, which was the dog that teleported.
The big old fucking,
Yeah, that's an awesome character.
Oh, I know.
He's got the fucking fork on his head, just like Black Bolt.
Yeah, Black Bolt's cool. You just be like, shh.
Yeah. I think I never saw the Inhumans show either.
No, me neither. I know it was poorly done. That's all I know.
That's what I heard.
It was poorly done.
Well, there's a couple of shows I didn't see.
It didn't do it justice.
Yeah, there's a couple of shows, the Marvel shows that I didn't see. And people were like, "Dude, have you watched it?" Because they knew I was all into it, and I'm like,
I didn't mind.
It's not really pulling me.
I didn't finish it, but I didn't mind it. Was
Runaways, Cloak and Dagger?
No. The Winter Soldier and Falcon.
Oh yeah,
that one was good.
That was good.
Cloak and Dagger. It was on fucking
Hulu.
Yeah, no, it wasn't even on Hulu.
FX.
It was on Oh, what the hell is that thing? It was like a tween fucking drama
The
thing.
Runaways?
No, Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah.
Cloak and Dagger was like on a
It was a freeform.
freeform. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And it wasn't right, dude. They
No.
fucking did Cloak and Dagger wrong.
Yeah.
The one that did Cloak and Dagger right was the Spider-Man animated show.
Yes.
Did fucking Cloak and Dagger right.
Yes.
Okay.
The Spider-Man animated show, and there's all three of them are pretty good. But that's like a whole nother topic, you know?
Well, the getting into the whole Spider-Man verse is a whole nother thing, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, Spider-Man. It's like you could do.
That's a whole nother episode.
You could do a mini series on Spider-Man.
Yes, because then you have even the animated series, all the different ones that are out there.
Yeah, my favorite one's always going to be the '90s one that we grew up with, because you got the Spider-Man and Friends one from like the '80s.
Oh, dude.
With Firestar and Iceman.
Yeah.
Which is like, why? I can understand with the Human Torch, because they are actually like best buds or whatever. But anyway, getting back to the MCU. The Iron Man 2, I think, was a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, probably not the best Iron Man movie, because I think the first one's always going to be the best.
Yeah, I feel like that one took a little bit of a hit because it was kind of darker.
That, and they kind of they fused, the bad character was like Red Dynamo and Whiplash into one, but it was Whiplash at the end of the day.
Yeah.
He just had like parts of Red Dynamo.
Red Dynamo with the whoosh.
Yeah. But I liked how the dude he was like a evil Tony Stark. He was just like a badass. He's like, I'm gonna come in and screw your world up.
Yep.
Kind of dude.
And then that led into the whole part with Black Panther and other ones too. There was like little hints, Easter eggs.
Yes.
That brought into there and actually to Peter Parker.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is pretty cool. Dude, it's so weird how
you're talking about when they show the map.
Yeah, but then they're in Iron Man 2. Mm-hmm. There's a young Peter Parker wearing an Iron Man shirt.
Where he's in the
and he saves
Expo.
Yeah.
The Stark Expo.
Yeah.
And then Kevin Feige confirmed later on, he's like, yep, that was Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
The kid that was like, I'm going to kill the drone bot.
Yep.
And he's like, great job, kid. The one thing I didn't like, I got to say, is I like...
Oh, and Thor's hammer was in that too. Yeah.
And the Captain America shield,
yep.
the prototype. The one thing I didn't like was that they actually put like just Robert Downey Jr.'s voice like a little bit. I like the first movie where he sounded like a robot. He's like, he's all yours.
Yeah.
I wish they would have kept that voice. But then it's like, oh, he's Iron Man. Why does he got to hide it?
Yeah.
You know, he reveals himself at the end of the first movie. But still, I like that voice. The first voice.
Yeah.
I thought that's one of those things where I was like, I wish they would have kept that kind of little detail. But whatever.
Yeah. Well, the next one in the chronological order, or the way that they were in the Phase 1, was Thor.
Yes.
And actually, that one was actually pretty good. I liked that one.
It was... Yeah, it was decent.
Well, I liked how he's just themes like everybody from Earth is beneath him.
Well, the thing is, Thor's always like every time they introduce Thor is kind of like that. He's like I'm a god to you people.
Well, it's just like and then he meets fucking Natalie Portman. He's like, oh hey, how's it going?
Yeah. Yeah. That and Kat Dennings is like, what's meow meow?
Yeah. The comic relief of that movie.
Well, and then they talk about the Hulk in that one too, with what's his name, Eric Selvig, the Skarsgård.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh yeah, I used to know this geneticist or whatever who dealt with gamma radiation. I was like, oh, he's talking about Banner. He's talking about the Hulk. I did that Leonardo DiCaprio from what's it called? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He's talking about this.
Yeah, but yeah, that was the first Thor was pretty good. I thought.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, that's when Tom Hiddleston was like, "This dude's Loki, man."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then, well, we completely overlooked the part where in Iron Man 2 they introduced ScarJo, which was
Black
Widow, And then in Thor, they introduced Hawkeye.
Yeah, I completely forgot about how she was his assistant.
Yep.
In
Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
And then she ends up coming through and being fucking.
Then when he sees her do all this shit, he's like, "You're fired."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that for a second. Because then she has that one really like hot moment where she like flips around and does that Black Widow stance.
Yeah, the one that they make fun of in the Black Widow movie with what's her name, Florence Pugh. She's like, ugh. You're a poser. You're a poser.
But yeah, that was, and then I'm trying to think. In Thor, in that one, was that with those indestructible like things, right? Those metallic guys with the fire out of their face, or is that the second one?
That's the first one, but there's only one of them, the Destroyer.
Yeah,
that's the one that like when he's human, when they strip away.
That's it. Yeah,
and he just smacks him across the town.
That's why I always.
Natalie Portman's like, "Oh my god!" Yeah. She loses her shit. She's like, "I'm gonna go caress your face while this big robotic flame breathing monster's right above us,
just destroying everything."
Yep.
Yeah, I like that one.
And then the hammer comes back.
Because he's worthy.
Because he's worthy. Yeah, that had a little bit of a cheese moment where he's like, "Brother, just you could mess me up. Just leave them alone."
Yep.
I was like, "Oh, he is worthy." And then you see Anthony Hopkins cry out of his patch with the Odin sleep.
Yes.
The one fucked up thing is they should have done the thing with Lord of the Rings where they made Anthony Hopkins taller.
Yeah.
They fucked that up. They should have made him like a big dude. Like, I'm not saying you had to get him into shape or anything, because Odin's like a big,
just make
brawn, fat dude.
Just make him bigger than them.
He's a fucking Viking king, you know?
Yeah.
But they should have made him like, this dude needs to be 7 feet tall. Mm-hmm. He needs to be bigger than Thor. He needs to be like,
Yeah.
But
where he shows his superiority over his kid.
Exactly. But overall, Thor, the first movie was decent. I like the ending. How Loki's like, if you break the rainbow bridge, you're never gonna see what's her face. And he's like,
Yep.
"Oh, you fell in love in a week, dude. Yeah. Come on." Like, I get it. You had some good times, but half that time you were locked up, son.
Yep.
Yeah. The cool thing is, so an Easter egg was when they break him out of the jail or whatever. He's got the Donald Blake patch.
Yeah.
Who was an ex-boyfriend of Natalie Portman's character, Jane Foster. He's actually, like, Donald Blake is actually, like, his human form in the comics. Like, when he's not Thor, and he carries around an umbrella instead of Mjolnir. Meow,
like
meow, instead of Meow Meow.
Like in, it was Ragnarok.
Yeah.
He's standing there with the umbrella taking pictures with everybody.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, that was a good one, too.
But, yeah, Thor was a good movie.
And then that leads us up to Captain America.
Yes, which chronologically should have been the first movie.
One, yes.
But,
it's actually the fourth one in the universe?
Fifth one, no? No, yeah, you're right, the fourth one.
Yeah, because it's Iron Man, Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor.
Yeah, it's the fifth one.
Fifth one. Okay, so the fifth one is Captain America, the First Avenger.
And I love that movie.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
I like it.
The only thing I didn't like about it was like,
you are failing. Dude, I love Hugo Weaving as the Red Skull, man.
Yeah, that was really good.
He was the shit, dude.
Yeah. Dude, and just think about kind of going off topic, but just Hugo Weaving himself.
He's had some fucking
the movies that he's been a part of. The Marvel Cinematic Universe,
Lord of the Rings,
Matrix, and then
he was in V for Vendetta.
Yes, like just that little group right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's set up iconic roles.
Yeah, remember the 5th of November.
Yep.
The gunpowder treason and plot.
Yep.
Yeah. V for Vendetta is a good movie.
Oh yeah,
and his character was a badass in Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
Like, even when they show him, he's just like, I'm the king of blah, blah. You see the beginning, he went through that fucking war, man.
Yep. Yeah.
You could tell he was fucking seasoned.
He was Lord Elrond for a reason.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Yeah, Hugo Weaving's a really good actor. He's done other stuff too, though.
Oh, I know, but I feel like just he has those.
Like, those are pretty iconic roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like oh God, why is his name Ian McKellen?
Yeah.
Like Ian McKellen has the same thing with being fucking Magneto
Gandalf.
and being Gandalf.
Yep.
You know, like you're part of two iconic franchises that'll live on forever because you were part of the renditions that were way better than anything else that came before you.
I gotta say, he was not a good fit for Magneto.
No, but but for him and Patrick Stewart, that parallel was a good like back and forth.
Yeah, because Magneto's supposed to be like a big buff dude.
Yes,
even though he's older.
But I'm talking about their dynamic is what made that work.
Yes.
You know, it would be way different if it was like Patrick Stewart and some fucking big brute. Yeah. You know, like him and McKellen and Stewart fed off of each other to make that situation
Well, the thing
work.
is, theirs is not like an actual. It's not a physical war or whatever. It's more like a like they're playing chess, dude. Everybody else is playing checkers.
Yep.
So yeah, that was a good parallel.
They're like, hey, we're never gonna hurt each other.
We're gonna
just all this other stuff to go, but we're never really gonna hurt each other.
Yep.
You know, and that's why. Well, now we're really getting off topic. But when he was killed, he was all pissed off at first. You know, and he's like, oh, okay, well, come with me. Let's go take care of this.
Yeah. Yep.
So back to Captain America, the first Avenger.
Yes. I think that was a well-rounded movie.
Yes.
I liked the...
It was weird to see Chris Evans kind of... Scrawny and short.
Yeah.
And, you know, until he came out of the...
The funny thing is, like, which is like a Captain America trait, is like he's cheesy as fuck.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Which is good. He's like, I'm just looking for the right partner.
Yep.
You know?
Oh, dude, and what's her name?
Peggy Carter?
Yeah, but what's her real name? Haley Atwell?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when she's getting all jealous when he's...
You know what they messed up with, too, is Natalie Dromer was the secretary that he made out with. I'm like, she should have just been Captain Marvel, dude.
Yep.
She should have just waited instead of being like some second-rate character.
Yeah, instead of...
But she took him in the back. She was like, oh, come on. I want to thank you for all the wives of all the dudes you saved.
Instead of going, what was her name? Brie
Larson,
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, too bad she wasn't as cool as she was back in fucking 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
You know, she turned into a fucking libtard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, dude, yeah. Captain America was a really good one. I was a fan of that one.
And they show the tiger tanks that you mentioned before. They show them in that movie. They're fucking huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. That whole movie's really good. He got the wolf pack together too, the Howling Commandos.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys, and Bucky's stories like kind of developed there too.
A little bit.
Well, they show like their relationship.
Yeah.
Which builds up into what we're going to talk about
in
Phase 2.
Like I feel like even though that, you know, going into it, like the Winter Soldier gets brought up, like I feel like they needed to really do a whole origin on that.
That would have been good.
You know, before they did anything else after the Winter Soldier. Like I feel like in the Winter Soldier they could have dove deeper,
like into his history,
into what he was,
like all the missions he did.
Yeah, and even if it was just like flashbacks.
Yeah,
but just something more than like, oh hey, this is what happened.
Well, see, but that's the thing that like that's kind of what kept the mystery about it, because the what's her name, and we're jumping ahead here, but the Black Widow talks about it. She's like, this dude's I'm a super spy. This dude's better than me.
Well, yeah, but I feel like once they brought and it made him into more than just a one-time character, and they were bringing him in more and more in Civil War and all these other ones.
Yeah,
I feel like they could have brought in pieces
in between. Did when he killed Howard Stark.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about all the other things. Like, this dude has been fucking under the radar doing all this shit
for the better half of a century,
for all this time, and is this big fucking supervillain type dude who wants to be good, but he's brainwashed to be bad.
Yeah,
you know, it's like,
and then he's got the super soldier serum too.
Yeah,
like a version of it.
Yes, but I'm talking about like they could have done something to really show like, yeah,
we're jumping ahead into episode 2, man, and that's a whole can of worms I want to get into.
Well, that's part of that's episode like 5. The problems around with the MCU.
Well, yeah, but still, like, because I'll tell you right now, The Winter Soldier's probably my favorite Marvel movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably
That is a good one.
That is probably my favorite Marvel movie. Like that is a tier with Iron Man, like the first Iron Man.
Yeah.
But like the way they developed, like the way they showed how they were best friends, and like they even talk about how Bucky's like, dude, you can come live with my family after Steve Rogers' mom died. It's like he's like, you don't have to pay rent or anything, just like shine my shoes or some shit.
Yeah.
You know, like they're boys. You know, they go way back. Bucky defended them from the bullies and shit.
Well, that's how it always was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why in Captain America, the first Avenger, they showed that really well. Which when you see Bucky die in the movie, you're like, dude, that. And then like even Steve Rogers is like, I can't even get drunk. He's like, I went through like all this alcohol and I can't even get drunk because of the super soldier serum, which is messed up. Because he's got to deal with that shit sober. That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
But he didn't die. Spoilers.
Nope. No, he became the Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm. But I like the Howling Commandos. That was a good fucking a good bunch too.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
He just grabbed it. He's like, "Oh, I want a bunch of lunatics to go on me with like rogue missions." And they're like, "Oh, I'm game."
Yep.
They're like, "We were gonna die anyway."
Yeah, might as well just get it done.
Yeah, I like when they showed the Asian dude. He's like, "Oh, we're taking everybody." He's like, "I'm from Fresno, Ace." He's like, "I'm part of the U.S. military, dickhead." Yeah. Or I punched Adolf Hitler over 200 times.
Oh, dude, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
And then it leads us into the end of Phase 1.
Yes.
Which is the Avengers.
Good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's like, hey, Josh Whedon, is there a Snyder cut? You know, it was really campy, which is good because they're supposed to be, you know, kid movies.
Yeah.
But I like when they have a little bit of realism to it. Like that's why I like the Winter Soldier a lot because it's kind of like a dark story.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh, especially like they're like, oh shit, why is everything getting uncovered? Like, why is this going on? What's that going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he knows everything before it happens almost.
And even like if you go back to Iron Man and Iron Man 2 and the Hulk, it's all like this shit's all happening behind the curtains.
Mm-hmm.
Like people don't know about this shit.
Yep.
They're like Iron Man, oh, he's Tony Stark's bodyguard. And then you get the Hulk was like he's a fucking human experiment that went wrong. Well, he wasn't even an experiment, it's just an accident that went wrong.
Exactly.
And then you got Iron Man 2. You got this dude coming up from Tony's past, and you got the whole Tony Stark is dying, and he's an alcoholic, and blah, blah, blah. You got Thor. They're like, oh, shit, we got aliens. Are they aliens? They're gods? They're, you know, all that stuff. Then you got Captain America dealing with World War II and all, like, the secret missions that they had, because, like, that wasn't even up in the front about, you know, like, it wasn't even, like, it was like a war within a war with the Red Skull.
Yeah, he was on his own separate thing.
Yeah,
while the war was going on, even though
before
he was going around getting
like,
war bonds.
If Hitler like takes over, we'll just go back and fuck him up. But like these dudes are dealing with like otherworldly shit. You know, like this dude's trying to deal with like cosmic witchcraft or whatever, if you want to call the Tesseract that.
Yeah, whatever Red Skull was dealing with.
The Red Scully things.
Yes, Red Skullness.
You are failing. And you had Armin Zola in that movie too.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Who was part of Operation Paperclip?
Mm-hmm.
They brought him in. He infiltrated Hydra.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I feel like when we talk about like how, when we're talking about like how the Avengers compared to like the Justice League, and there was at least a little bit of that introduction.
Mm-hmm.
And then they brought him into this superhero group to where like the Justice League were like, oh hey, look at all these people.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome. We're not gonna do any really origin stories. Here you go.
Like you're talking about when like J.K. Simmons was like, who's this guy? Who the fuck? What? There's more of you?
Who's this kid that's like a cyborg? What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was pretty
Hey, we're the Justice League. You're the who?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a bunch of dudes that like hang out and do stuff.
Yeah. On the weekends we drink beer, but right now we're just saving the world. Yeah.
At least Marvel had it somewhat put together.
Well, they did it right, man. They started with individual movies. They built up each character individually,
And then brought them together.
and then you bring them together as a team. And they had their flaws at the beginning.
Yep.
You know, like Iron Man and Captain America were butting heads. You had Thor, who was like, "You guys are beneath me. Fuck, like you guys are little kids," because he's like 1,500 years old. And then you got super spies who are like,
well, and then you bring in two people who don't really have powers, but they have abilities.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And then.
And they're going against Loki.
Yeah.
You know.
And then you got, a raging green monster
who just shows up.
You just need to point him in the right direction.
Hulk, go smash. Okay.
Yeah. That was cool. The whole, you wanna know my secret, Cap? I'm always angry. And then he just punches that Leviathan out of the air.
Oh, man.
But they had so many campy lines that I was like, okay, that's a bit much. Like with the whole, like, Tony Stark's like, I'm bringing the party to you. And, what's her name? Black Widow's like, how is that a party? It's like, did you really need to say that? He kind of said all he needed to say.
Yeah.
You know? Like, Tony Stark always had those, like, cool quips. Where he's like, when Hawkeye's, like, shooting people or the Chitauri out of the air. And he's like, oh, Thor's taking out a squadron over here. And he's like, and he didn't invite me.
Yeah.
Like, those were good. But
yeah.
there were some really campy lines that I was just like, could you not?
Yeah, but it's just what it is, man.
Yeah.
You know.
That was when Joss Whedon was still good with the social media and the people.
But still, dude, that Phase 1 put Marvel in such a good place, dude.
It did.
You know, and you're just like, that whole, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movies.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Have you ever tried shawarma? There's a shawarma place right around the corner. Yeah.
Well, they don't do that until the shawarma place isn't.
It's a post-credit.
Is it Avengers? I thought it was. I thought it was after that one. I
It's
thought it was the
post-credit.
Age of Ultron.
No, it's post-credit
Really?
Avengers.
I thought it was Age of Ultron was the shawarma one.
Nope. Because when they did that, they don't show Chris Evans' face because he was growing his beard out for Snowpiercer, the movie, which came out right after the Avengers.
Yeah, I swore that was Age of Ultron.
Yeah, no, that was actually...
Are you sure?
Yeah, that was shot way after the movie was over, and they were like, "Oh, we got to include that scene," so they went back and did it.
Damn, I
Or
thought
some
that,
shit like that.
I'm pretty sure I thought that was Age of Ultron that they did that one.
Nope, that was the first Avengers because he's got the shitty Captain America suit from the first movie, the spandex one.
Yeah,
which is horrible. I mean, come on. I could see that shit on ScarJo, not on Chris Evans.
Yeah. True.
But yeah, here it is.
But at least they didn't do like the like 80s fucking TV show one.
Where he's like wearing a helmet. Yeah.
I am Captain America.
Yeah. So what are you? Playboy, billionaire, philanthropist. Genius, playboy, billionaire, philanthropist. There's that scene you were talking about right here. With the Iron Man shooting the tank and walking away.
Oh yeah, do that.
That was...
especially that... Dun, 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 dun.
You know, it's cool when he gets back home and Gwyneth Paltrow's all like, "Are those bullet holes?" And he's like, "That's what you're worried about?" He's all caught up in the machine. He's like, "This is not the worst thing you've seen me doing."
Yep. Yeah, that is.
And there's Iron Man 2 eating the donuts on top of the big donut. Thor. I don't know what Thor's doing. It's not coming up. Incredible Hulk. But yeah. Phase 1. Really good phase. It was... I think Phase 1 did a real good job in character development for all those characters. Other than, like, you know, Hawkeye and Scarlett Johansson's character, the Black Widow. Because they were all, like... They got their stuff later on, but they're... I don't know why. They didn't seem... Like, they needed their own story at the time.
Yeah, no.
Because they just brought them in, like, we're going to introduce you because we need to hurry this up. People don't want to watch 6 movies and then a team movie.
But I feel like they could have done a little bit more when Hawkeye went to Ronin.
Oh yeah, that would have been good.
That would have been good to go back to. But that's next. That's down the line. You know.
Yeah. Because that character is badass, and there's many people who've held that mantle.
Yes.
So that's it. Yeah, but that's another thing. And then you get the Hulk when he smashes Loki. Puny god. Like, I am a god, you dull creature. Puny god.
And I love when it happens to him. He's like, yes.
Oh yeah. That's what that feels like. Yeah. We'll get into that one.
Yes.
But yes.
I still love the little quirks from Thor Ragnarok. Oh, look. Oh, he's a friend from work.
You know that line was inspired from a little kid?
Really?
It wasn't in the script, and then they put it in the script because the little kid's like, oh yeah, they work together. They're friends from work. So they put it in the movie.
Huh.
So.
Well, I'm glad that I like some of the Taika Waititi stuff, but I'm glad he is not going to be involved in the last Thor. And that is a Chris Hemsworth request.
Yes.
He's like, I want Thor to be back to being Thor.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, Thor could go either way because Thor could be goofy, but then again, he's not a joke, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel with that last movie, he lost all.
But I did love the little shit with the Guardians of the Galaxy. He's like, I am your captain.
Well, yeah, I mean, because he's a goof ass like that, but like when the stuff gets serious, he's not like.
Oh yeah, but I love how him and Chris Pratt were going back and forth. He's like, no. This is my show. Yes, we will. We will listen to you.
You guys have a knife fight to see who's captain. I've got knives. No. We don't need to know. We all know who's captain.
Yeah.
You're the captain. You're the captain. Yeah, that was pretty funny. We're getting a little bit ahead, but anyway, closing off Phase 1 was.
What was your favorite part of Phase 1?
I don't know, man. It's hard to pick. I mean, I like to see. Like, I gotta say, my favorite scene from Phase 1 was the scene when they're all rounding up in New York, and you got the camera panning around all of them, and you see Iron Man landing. You see the Hulk there.
That is cool.
That is iconic.
Yes.
That was pretty. I think that's at the top right here. That was probably the best scene from Phase 1. But there's others like the
when
Tony
they finally
Stark.
get it together.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's that scene where he nukes the little tank.
Yeah.
Little tank. He just blows it out of the water.
The little tiny bottle rocket.
Yeah. There's this scene where he's in the donut and he's talking shit to Nick Fury.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What's your favorite part or favorite scene from Thor? Or
just in general, I like most of Phase 1, but I still have to go back to just Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
Iron Man 1 just sprung it all. So we're like, it is just good no matter where you go from there.
See, that is a Hulk.
Yeah.
That is fucking ripped. He's muscle over muscle. That dude's got veins on top of veins, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Hulk's supposed to be. I'm a little bit sad that Edward Norton didn't want to return because he's like, I want to diversify my career.
No, he didn't. I was just reading the thing. They didn't recast him.
No, and he's like, I don't want to just be caught into one character because he knew if he did it was for the long haul.
Yeah.
This was before they did 10 movie contracts.
And then now he's probably like, man.
No, he didn't want to do it. He's like, I don't want to.
I would have been like, fucking,
Well, like even Chris Evans when he did like Civil War, he was like, dude, I just want to get out of it already. He's like, I want to be done. He's like, does that little bit that Loki did as me and Thor: The Dark World, does that count? Because that's one movie. But yeah, so that's your favorite Iron Man 1.
Yeah, I mean, just it brought everything to life, really, dude.
Yeah.
Like all the there was movies before, and then there was good ones after, but I just feel like that was the one.
Yeah,
was like it birthed everything.
Oh, and it put them on the map.
You know.
Yeah.
And like I said, just sitting there and being like, wow, fucking Tony Stark could be a real dude.
Mm-hmm.
and do all this other shit, and Iron Man could be real.
Yeah.
Anybody could be Iron Man.
True.
If they had this kind of shit and did this kind of stuff. You know, and it's just like, and it just brought like 3D printing to fucking, you know, life.
Yeah.
You know, like 3D printing became real after that. Really. Like it was probably around, but it never really got put to the forefront of it really exists until after that movie.
Yeah.
You know.
What was he printing?
No, but I'm talking about like how that technology looks like 3D printing.
Oh yeah.
To bring that into like, hey, yeah, this you can make stuff like that. You know, like I feel like it opened up a lot of avenues for people to really think about things.
You know, I gotta go back and retract and say probably one of my favorite scenes was where he had the Mark II, the silver one, and he's like, sometimes you gotta fly before you could walk or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That line, and then he goes out and he's flying around, and then the suit freezes up when he's going maximum altitude.
Yeah,
and he comes down. And he breaks it right before he hits the ground. He's like, yes! And he gets all excited and he flies off. And the little kid's just like, there's a car. And I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. He's just like flying. Like he almost, like, it was like 1 second, like 1 millisecond later and he would have been done.
Yep.
He would have been a fucking stain on the road. That's probably one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah. It is a pretty cool scene too.
Yeah.
All of them are good,
and like the soundtrack on the first movie gets you really amped up.
Oh yeah, dude. Every song, even like just the clips, it's just like, all right, here we go. You know, like the theme song to where he goes, you know, and then into the when he's really Iron Man going through shit.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. MCU, what happened to you?
Yeah. I don't know. You just got to stick with what was working, and everything would have been fine.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing is, like, all those movies had their, like, little post-credit scenes, and then you had the post-credit scenes from the Avengers. It was like, I forgot what the dude, because he's, like, in the comics, it's Mephisto, the dude that's with Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot what the dude's name is in this one. Something. Anyway, the guy that's like in charge of the Chitauri.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, humans, they like to court death. And then you just see Thanos turn around and smile. I was like, oh shit, they're bringing in Thanos. I was like, this is gonna be good. I didn't know it was gonna be like. Yeah. I didn't know it was gonna be 15 movies later.
Yeah,
but,
I know. Yeah. Because he's just sitting there and he's like, oh.
Yeah. I would have, dude, it would have been awesome if they would have put in, like, Mephisto, and they would have put in, like, Lady Death. Yeah. They never show Lady Death in the movie either.
No.
And, like, his whole reason for doing what he's doing is, like, completely different.
Mm-hmm.
But, still, they showed him, and I was like, oh, the big purple ape is in the movie. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. So, closing off, Phase 1. Coming up, next episode, Phase 2.
Yes, Phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
which has its ups and downs. I like to think more ups than downs, but still a good phase.
Yeah. I mean, there's other things like there's a lot more like. Isn't there a lot more shows in Phase 2 too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's if you want to include the shows. The movies stand on their own.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like some of the parts of the shows kind of helped out a little bit too. You know,
I guess. Well, it depends, because if you want to go back and do the stuff chronologically, we would have had to throw in like Captain Marvel right after Captain America, and you would have had to throw in some episodes from S.H.I.E.L.D. and some episodes from the Peggy Carter.
So just looking at what Phase 2 is, Phase 2 is pretty good.
Yeah.
Except for me, one movie. One movie I didn't really like that much.
I could probably say one movie too.
I didn't really like the Age of Ultron.
Ooh, no, Age of Ultron.
I liked it, but it wasn't. But I'm just like, eh.
I was gonna go with Iron Man 3. It wasn't my favorite.
No, I didn't. Yeah, it wasn't my favorite either. But it was kind of like a different development of the character.
A little bit. It was. It was more about his wits than the actual suits.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, then Thor: Dark World's good. Winter Soldier. The intro of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, which we gotta wait on because I'm going to defend Thor: The Dark World like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Dude, and it gets like the worst. They're like, it's the worst Marvel movie.
Oh, I know that one. They give that one shit all the time.
Yeah, and I will explain why. I will defend it.
But it's Malekith.
Yeah,
Dude, that one.
I'm going to explain that in the next episode because I really don't want to start talking about it now. I'm going to talk about that to great length and why it's such an important movie.
Mm-hmm. But, I know. Trust me, I know. I like that one.
Yeah. For now, we'll do another shot of CABO.
Yep. Yeah, I guess we will.
And we'll close this off.
All right.
So, cheers, bud.
Cheers.
And we hope you enjoyed Phase 1 review.
Yep, Phase 2 will be next week.
Dun, 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 dun.